Hey guys, Team Universe here. We're here to talk about Stranger Things Season 2. We're going to give you our review, also our predictions and theories about Season 3.
But first, don't forget to subscribe to GameSpot Universe so you can see more of our Stranger Things coverage we got on the way. We got favorite moments coming just for you and Easter eggs.
Be warned though, this is a spoiler conversation, so if you haven't watched the show, please don't watch this video. Go watch the show.
And then come back. All right, good news for you right off the bat. We're giving away 2 pops. So 2 of you are gonna win these 2 cuties right here. Look at them. We got Hopper and Dustin. So find out how to win those by clicking the link in the description below. All right, let's jump into our initial reactions of Season 2. What do you guys think?
Man, okay, every sequel always takes what it built on the first movie or TV show and puts it into overdrive. This didn't fall off the rails at all. I loved it.
Cool.
I thought it was great. I think anybody who enjoyed Season 1 of Stranger Things is also going to enjoy this. I have some gripes. There are some problems.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, though, can't really complain.
Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. I thought the pacing was a little slow up front, and there was a lot of like setup, but otherwise, good season. Okay, let's talk about the plot. So what are the major takeaways from Season 2?
I like that it kind of started, besides the cold open, which we can talk about later, but I like that it kind of started with just catching us up with like what everyday life is like for these characters now that a year has passed since the events of the first season. Mm-hmm. And obviously it gets crazier and crazier as the season goes on, but it was nice to be able to catch up with them for a little while as they just like go to school, go to the arcade. And then like, you know, baby Demogorgons start showing up and
those demo dogs.
Those demo dogs. And you know, Will's having visions and Eleven has her own problems. But yeah, I think overall there were a lot of good arcs and they wove together in interesting ways.
Yeah. What were your takeaways from this season? Anything else?
Man, Hopper, really, his character, the development they had with him, and the universe building in general for all these characters is really well done.
Yeah, it was nice to see the other families of the other kids. And
yeah, we got to meet Lucas's family, his little sister who kind of sucks, but
even their parents.
She was funny. Dustin's mom was really sweet. Mm-hmm. She was great. She loves him so much.
She loved that cat too.
She did. Oh.
You're gonna find her, all right? We can find her.
We can find her.
I love you. Mwah.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
All right, go. All right.
So did it make sense as a sequel? Did it expand the universe in significant ways?
I thought leading with something that people have been speculating about since Season 1, like, are there more psychic kids? I thought leading with that right up front was like instant. It set the tone for the whole series, for the whole season, right? It was like, we're gonna go bigger, we're gonna reveal more of this world and this universe. There's more characters, we're gonna zoom back and expand on it, but in ways that make sense. So yeah, I thought it did a really good job of that.
What do you think, Greg?
We knew that they were gonna expand on the Demogorgons a little bit more, but we didn't know exactly where they were going to take it, with what characters were going to be involved, would Eleven be involved in this storyline. She really wasn't at all at the Demogorgons until very much the end of the whole entire series. So I love that. It was just the kids.
Okay, let's talk about the cast and the new characters. First, who is your favorite new character?
Bob.
Yes.
I said it first.
Damn
I win.
it.
Bob's my guy.
Bob's the only correct answer. Bob Newby. Sean Astin, he did a great job.
Sean Astin from The Lord of the Rings did an amazing job. And Bob is I mean, we can get into it, but Bob is kind of the only good new character, although I like Dr. Owens as well.
Right.
Mr. Mom. Woo! Perfect.
He was perfect. He was a lovable guy, but he just got in way too deep, and he had no idea what he was in for.
Is it too early to say justice for Bob?
No, justice for Bob.
Justice for Bob.
What's at the X? Pirate treasure?
Bob, no questions.
Okay, let's talk about the other new characters. So we loved Bob, so let's talk about Dr. Owens. So this was Paul Reiser, who we all know from Aliens and Mad About You.
We all know him from Mad About You.
Yes, when I was a young child.
One of my favorites.
Watching Mad About You.
Has there by any chance been a woman
Sir,
in a...
for God's sake, she's a mannequin.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Not a gun, not a gun.
The money's in the register.
Not a gun, this is not a gun. How do I explain?
Okay, maybe nobody watched Mad About You. But anyway, Dr. Owens.
You couldn't tell for halfway through this season whether or not, could I trust this man?
I was constantly paranoid about him.
It was like, is it me? Am I just a mistrustful person?
No.
Am I too paranoid, or did the show condition me that way? Because honestly,
Dr. Brenner.
Right up until the end, literally up until the second to last episode, when he's guiding Bob through the office, Rip Bob, when he's guiding Bob through the office, I was like, this is the moment.
Yeah.
This is when he's going to show his true colors.
Spring his trap.
He's going to spring his trap. He's going to capture. No, there's no scenario in which he does something bad in this situation. Like,
No.
he's just a chill dude.
the whole
He's
time.
just chill the whole time.
But it's because he works at that lab and you don't trust anything that happens in that building, and he's having all these private conversations. So I was just like, when's the shoe going to drop? When is he just going to turn on them? But yeah,
I
agreed.
liked him. Overall, though, he was such a great. I thought I was going to wind up hating him. I'm like, this
No, I liked
this
him.
douche. This f***ing guy. But no,
He
he's
really cared about Will and everybody's well-being. He didn't really give a
Surprisingly.
damn.
That surprised me.
Man.
good job, Paul Reiser.
Congratulations, Pops. I thought sometimes I impress even myself.
All right, let's talk about Max and Billy. So we have Max, who's a new addition to the party, and also her just asshole of a stepbrother, Billy. So what did you think of Max and Billy?
Now, I originally called him Poochie the dog combined. But I feel
Explain
that's
that.
too harsh.
You gotta explain that.
Okay.
You gotta explain that.
All right, I'm
I
pretty
get
sure we
you.
can-
I get you.
In The Simpsons, Poochie the dog was a character added to Itchy and Scratchy to, liven it up a little bit, to get things a little different, because they felt it was stale. And it didn't work at all, and they hated the character, so they got rid of Poochie after only a few episodes.
I think I'm seeing the analogy that you're drawing here.
Yes. Now, Max and Billy. Max was actually going somewhere, I thought, for a little bit. Yes, she was a tool, really, to drive the characters a little bit more, especially for Dustin. And
Dustin and Lucas.
Lucas, yes.
Yeah, she came into the plot to
build up
create
other
conflict.
yeah.
Honestly.
And then conflict with Mike and 11.
Yeah, there's conflict
Yeah.
with Mike and 11. There's conflict between Dustin and Lucas, and I just didn't feel like she had any personality. She, like, both her and Billy are less characters and more just background information. Like they don't have personalities, but they have backgrounds. Like we know they're from California, and
Sure.
she skateboards and is good at Dig Dug, and he's an asshole and probably racist.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're assuming that, he's
We can
probably a
assume
little bit of
that.
racism. Lightweight racism, we don't know
But
exactly
like
how
those,
far it goes.
those aren't three-dimensional characters, though. Those are just character sheets,
Yes.
which ironically fits with the D&D theme, but I don't think in a good way.
No.
And something you learn is that there are certain type of people in this world that you stay away from. And that kid, Max, that kid is one of them.
I liked Max toward the end, but it took so long for them to get their backstory out. They drew it out for like 6 episodes.
Their mom and dad showing up like, oh, okay, they do have parents that are alive right now. I thought maybe they're not going to show them. What would have been cool if Max ended up being like one of she had powers.
Well, they built it up like it was like he's yelling at her like, it's your fault we're here,
Yeah.
and she's not my stepsister. So it's like you're asking all these questions. What is their relationship? Why are they here? Are they running from something? It seemed so mysterious. Then it's like, oh no, our parents got divorced and we had to move here for like extremely basic normal reasons.
Had we not even known that and we just went into the next season, I would have loved it. I would have been perfectly fine with that. But
Yeah.
So you mentioned powers, so let's talk about Kali. So the show opens with Kali, and then we get an entire episode with Kali and 11. What did you think of Kali and her band of misfits?
We could honestly talk about like her introduction and then when it finally gets back to her as 2 completely separate things.
Yeah.
Because I thought that the season opener, as I already said, was awesome. It was like this explosive, instantaneous expansion of this universe that just, it made the scope so much bigger, and it answered some questions, but it raised other questions, and it was exciting, and it was such a good tease. And then 6 more episodes go by with like literally not even a mention of this character. And then when we finally get back to her,
Sister. Sister.
It just interrupted the flow of the show. Just episode 7 just came out of nowhere, and just I was waiting for the end of episode 6 to connect to the next episode, and that didn't happen until episode 8. And I was just like, what was this?
yeah, we didn't just get Callie. We got her ragtag group of friends.
Her
that nobody
off-brand
wanted.
X-Men.
the off-brand
Yeah.
X-Men,
Yeah.
Nobody
that's
asked for
what I'm
these
gonna call
characters.
them. They just didn't make any sense to me. To me they felt like they weren't grounded. They didn't feel realistic in the way that every other character. I think it's one of the strengths of the show that Hopper and Joyce and the kids and Steve and Nancy and Jonathan, they all feel like they could be real people. And even when the show is about like magic portals and like fantasy monsters, like it's still grounded, like it's a government conspiracy. Like this, it all makes sense in a certain way, and nothing about this ragtag group of idiots made sense. What are they doing?
The second you leave our characters that we love, even with 11 there, you're like, what the hell's going on? They just couldn't wrap these characters up and make us care for them at all. I did not care for any of them.
Well, 11 barely talks. She can't carry
Yeah.
an entire episode. I love Millie Bobby Brown. The actress is great, and like when she screams when she uses her powers.
Oh man, that's a hell of a tantrum.
Yeah, oh my God, she's so good. But it's just the way the character is. She's not talkative. And it's just like, what were any of them doing there? Like they live in this weird warehouse and like they get up every morning and spend 3 hours doing their amazing hair. How do they afford so much hair gel? Who's paying their electric bills? They're not out there robbing banks. They're just murderers. They're just serial killing people to get revenge for her.
That is true.
Why are the other ones doing it? They don't have anything to do with this.
We were dead. All of us. Kali saved us. Here. And here.
Don't get all mushy on us, no fun.
No, no mushy. True.
Now we help her.
In this life, kid, you roll over or you fight back.
We're all fighters here.
Fight. Who?
Okay, so that was just one episode that we didn't like, but the rest of the season had a lot of fantastic episodes.
Yeah, it didn't hurt it for me.
Yeah.
I think it did hurt it. It detracted from it a little bit. It felt like an unnecessary detour of an episode, but the rest of the season is a lot better. And I liked it overall.
Right. So we were talking about 11, so let's talk about all of our other old characters that we love. Like, who were the MVPs of this season?
Dustin and Steven.
Dustin, Steve, Hopper, Joyce.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. I love all of them. I love
Right.
Steve. This Steve and Dustin team up is what I really, really loved. I loved seeing them together. I loved seeing Steve give him pointers about girls and about his hair and his secret that he has to take to the grave with him.
Oh my
the Farrah
God.
Fawcett
Favorite
spray.
I definitely went and Googled those hair products. After that, I was like, hang on, pause. Farrah Fawcett hairspray, can I still buy this?
Can you?
Like on eBay.
I don't know.
I don't know if I want to use 30-year-old hairspray.
The price is going to skyrocket, but yeah, you should not spray that.
You
I
can't
feel
walk
like
into
it's just-
Sally's and find it right now.
You do 4 puffs of the Farrah Fawcett spray.
Farrah Fawcett spray?
Yeah, Farrah Fawcett. You tell anyone I just told you that, and your ass is grass. You're dead, Henderson. You understand?
Yep.
Steve also, I think, is a great example of somebody who like started out as kind of a villain. He was kind of like the bully, like bad boyfriend character in season 1, and yet he had redeeming qualities, and he's been on this big arc that has continued through season 2. And by the end, he's like, hey, maybe I'm just like an awesome babysitter, and that's okay.
He
And
is. He is the best babysitter.
compare that with Billy, who's just a dick.
douche.
He's got no redeeming qualities, and that's why I think as good of a character as Steve is, I think that really exposes how thin
Billy is.
Billy is as a villain.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's talk about Hopper and Joyce.
I love them.
Yeah, they're
for,
great.
For me, Hopper and Joyce were really like the emotional center of the season. And every little scene, there's from the premiere up to the finale of this season, every little scene between Hopper and Joyce, whether they're sharing a cigarette, reminiscing about high school,
Yeah.
worrying over Will.
It all works.
Yeah, their relationship felt like one of the most real things in the season to me.
Yeah. The flashbacks with Hopper, I could do without those with Hopper and 11. But the buildup they took to get to the payoff of his why he's doing what he's doing to 11, it got me right here, away from the laugh.
I don't hate it, by the way. This whole look. It's kind of cool.
Bitch.
Okay, sure. Bitchin'.
It was like so touching too, and like we know that Hopper is this tragic character. Like if you guys remember in season 1 when he was introduced, like he was basically this burnout. Like he was he was
He was
just
a real mess of a man.
He was a drunk,
He was in a bad place.
and for good reason. And having 11 in his life has really given him purpose, and he's grown so much. And for him to finally, I mean, they've been living together for a year in close confines, and for him to finally open up to her about his daughter, even just in the smallest way, like it felt like such a huge emotional payoff.
I got her. And somehow, I've just been scared, you know? I've just been scared that it would take you too.
I thought Hopper was doomed. I thought he was going to die. And I thought,
There was a
we
few
were talking
moments.
earlier about how when Eleven was listening to his message, that was a possible goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely played that way, and the way that his arc has gone, he's come full circle in some ways, and it would have been. I would have been pissed.
It would have crushed me.
Yeah.
Had he actually died.
But it would have worked, you know,
It
from a
definitely would
narrative
have worked.
perspective.
It would have helped the story, but I would have been so mad.
If you had to choose though, Bob or Hopper.
Oh,
Bob.
why
Bob.
do this to me? Sorry, Bob. I'm so sorry, Bob.
Sorry,
I'm
Bob.
sorry I asked. That was traumatic.
Hopper can't die. He's Carl now.
Ooh, he can. He could though.
That's
He could.
true.
Anyone could.
So you mentioned the
No.
Greg, you mentioned the flashbacks. You said that you could have done without them. I would like for you to expand on that a little bit.
Now we're talking about the 11 Hopper flashbacks, correct?
Right, they were spread across episode 2 and 3.
Yes, they could have brought that in to make it just one episode. I understand that they wanted the payoff of having us at the very end of the first episode see 11. Okay, I get that. And saving it for everything else for the flashbacks, but you can just condense that. You don't need to stretch these out as far as they did for everything. A flashback here. We need to add a flashback here of 11 in the room where they're cleaning the room. Do you need that scene?
It was a cute scene, but
It's cute, but it could have been shorter.
Yeah.
They could have tightened that
I
up.
agree with you. I think it didn't help. This season, unlike season 1, didn't really have anything urgent driving it. Like Will was gone, they had to find him, and it was this unifying factor for the whole story. And season 2 was a lot more different plots, and I think especially in the first 3 or 4 episodes, it kind of dragged a little bit.
It did. Yeah,
And
it was a really slow build up.
the flashbacks just didn't help. And the fact that they were spread across 2 episodes and that we didn't really learn that much from them, it's like, okay, 11 got out of the Upside Down way too easily. And then
Just
she
walked out, basically.
Yeah. And then she ate some egos in the woods, and then Hopper found her, and then they lived in a cabin together happily ever after forever. But not forever, but
A year.
a year. It just I didn't gain a lot from seeing that drawn out so much.
Okay, let's talk about the good. So, what was good about season 2? Let's sum these up.
Oh, the characters, the kids,
The kids, yes.
the squad.
Agreed.
They were Dustin. I can't stress enough.
Dustin has teeth now.
Dustin's
He's
great.
got teeth, and every line with him, there's a little payoff at the end. He steals every scene he's in. Honestly,
Presumptuous. That's a good thing, right? Is it bad? Lucas. Is it bad? Lucas? Son of a bitch, Lucas. Is it bad?
even Will. I loved Will. His little character
Will was
development they
great,
had.
'cause
His little the exorcism. I don't know. Sure, but
Well, we barely got to see him in season 1, so I was really happy to see more of him this season, even though it was mostly just him being really messed up. Just like getting invaded by a smoke monster and just seizing really
that
badly.
scene. Did you think he was dead? I thought for a second they're going to kill him off. I honestly thought, are they going to kill this kid?
I thought he was getting possessed.
I was stoked. I was like, if they kill this kid right now, that is
That
a
would've been awesome.
baller move for this story.
Duffer Brothers.
Next season. No, I mean, it's interesting. I feel like I still don't know Will anywhere near as well as I know Mike or Dustin or Lucas. But what a lot of his scenes in the season, especially toward the end, really showed off is the actor Noah really killed it. He showed like a range that he definitely didn't get to show off in season 1, and for him to go from the interrogation to the Exorcist literally choking Winona Ryder. I mean, he's a kid. I was really impressed.
Me too. Yeah, he showed a lot of range.
Action-wise, I felt like this season was way bigger than anything that we saw in season 1. Like especially toward the end, like the entire second to last episode where they're in the lab and it's just being overrun, and there's like a lot of aliens in there.
It was
Like Aliens the
terrifying.
movie, like the necromorphs are. Did I say necromorphs?
Xenomorphs.
Xenomorphs.
The demo
The xenomorphs and aliens, yes.
demogorphs. whatever.
Demodogs.
Demodogs?
Demo dogs.
Yeah.
Anyway, The action was a lot bigger than it. Clearly, they got more budget.
It's a sequel,
Yeah.
bigger budget.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a shot. I was like, ooh, they spend more time on that scene. Even,
Oh, like CG wise?
Yeah, CG wise, nothing. It was pretty good.
Everything looked pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, the action was great. I was legitimately terrified. The whole lab building just being overtaken with the demo dogs just scared me. Just
Jurassic
walking
Park
by
stuff.
all of these dead bodies.
Yeah, it was like a horror movie for
Terrifying.
like a brief, half of an episode, but I thought it worked really well. And it was the first time maybe in the whole show that I really felt like, oh, none of these characters are safe.
No.
Anybody could go out right now. Rip Bob. Justice for
R.I.P.
Bob.
Now remember, season 1, all you had was the Demogorgon, and that was really the build-up towards the end. And then this season, you had the dogs, you had everything going on with 11 with her runaway group. So the action sequences really paid off, and there really wasn't one moment you're like waiting for a bunch of action scenes to kick in. It doesn't happen that way. Everyone has their own story a little bit. There's about 3 that goes on towards the end, and I don't know, I loved it.
And you have the Mind Flayer on top of that, and that's
Yes.
another way where it really expanded on like the lore and the universe from season 1. Is like you have one Demogorgon in season 1, and now we have like infinite It's like an unending army of Demogorgons.
Dustin just pulls out a book. Here it is. It's the Mind Flayer. There it is. And I was like, all right, sure, that works.
Well, it's kind of it's that cute thing they do where they try to navigate real life by the rules of D&D. So if they want to call it the Mind Flayer,
Sure.
I'll call it the Mind.
Yeah, I'll call it whatever Dustin wants to call it.
It's better
totally
than
fine.
Shadow Monster, him. I think those were the other, like,
Yeah.
he likes it cold.
Yeah,
like
they can't say it. It's too on the nose here.
Right.
The Mind Flayer.
What the hell is that?
It's a monster from an unknown dimension. It's so ancient that it doesn't even know its true home.
What do you guys think of the music in season 2?
Kenny Rogers. Loved it. No, the
That's your
score-
takeaway?
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers
No,
and
no.
Dolly Parton. Islands in the Stream.
Some people like Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. I love Kenny Rogers. What's so funny?
Nothing.
I mean, if Bob likes him, then I like him. I'm now a Kenny
He's
Rogers
like, I
fan,
love
guess.
Kenny Rogers. And we love
that guy.
Bob.
No, it was so good. It was so good that I almost didn't. I forgot to pay attention to it after a while because the music felt like such an inextricable part of like the whole tapestry of this season. The visuals and the sounds and the stories and the characters and the music is so essential to the identity of the show, and it's so good.
Yeah. I let the theme song play every single episode. I never skip it.
Oh my god, me too.
Because I love it. Yeah, I need to hear it.
Do you guys want to like sing it with me?
No.
We're good.
It's fine.
But again, my favorite 2 episodes were the Andrew Stanton directed episodes. And that
Which ones were
involves the mother. That involves 11's mother.
Yeah.
And the score that kicks in when they have the reveal for Rainbow, it's just crushing.
Breathe. They're on their way. Stay with us, darling.
Sunflower. 3 to the right, 4 to the left. Rainbow. 450. Breathe. Sunflower. Rainbow.
The editing for that whole sequence felt like whereas the flashbacks between 11 and Hopper
didn't
were
work.
pretty conventional and kind of took me out of it a little bit, this felt like something totally unique. And granted, they have the framework of 11 getting this message from her mother, which I thought worked really well to begin with, but then to receive it in that way that really illuminates what might be going on in her mother's head when she has no other way to communicate. I thought it was so cool. It was such a cool follow-up from season 1 for something that I wouldn't have necessarily guessed that we were going to see her again, or that we were going to get that payoff from that. But
The
it
execution was spot on. Had they just explained that scene to you, this is what we want to shoot, you would have thought, I don't know about that. But the editing, score, all on point. It was really well done. The acting too. You need really good actors for that scene, and they just pulled it off.
Okay, so just going back over what didn't work for us. So we already talked about Kali and her off-brand X-Men and how that episode didn't fit for us.
Yep.
Did you feel it was okay? And me and Mike were just like, why did we watch this?
I could have just done without that episode.
I went back to see who the director was. I was like, did Bryan Singer direct this? Is there something? What's
God.
going on?
Yeah.
Again,
It felt like a spin-off to me.
It is.
It was an
totally
11
feels like
spin-off, and I was like, what is this doing here? I'm trying to get back to the story. But
Season 3, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set up.
yeah, and then we had Max and Billy and how they were just kind of one note and I was waiting for Max to have that moment, and I don't think she ever had.
To lift a car or something.
Something that.
Well, you wanted her to have powers.
Yes.
I wanted her to just have
Yeah.
a
big
character
moment.
arc.
A
I wanted
big
her to
moment
just
with,
have a personality.
Exactly, a big moment with the party, and I don't think that really happened.
She like almost hit her brother in the dick with a bat, but like
that
that's
didn't do anything for the story
No.
or the rest of the cast.
No, just explains that in season 3, her brother's gonna be terrified of her. That's it. That's all we got.
more
Sure.
setup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we talk about Bob for a second though?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I know that I like to joke about this, even though I do not think it is funny. I'm very serious about Justice for Bob #. However, did you guys think that that death was like earned? Like, did you think that it did anything for the story?
They telegraphed it halfway through too.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious that it was going to happen. Like,
I mean, they do that sometimes though. Like we
Sure.
talked about how it felt like Hopper could have died. Like that was kind of a dangerous episode for everybody involved. I mean more like, okay, like Barb in season 1, right? Everybody hated to see Barb go. After the fact, at the time, it was like,
Right.
well, whatever, no, who cares?
poor Barb.
But Barb's death served as a couple of things in the story. It served as a motivator. It pushed some of these characters forward, especially Nancy.
And people can die.
Yeah, and it showed the stakes. Like, this is dangerous for more people than just Will. And we didn't really get the confirmation that she was dead until the end of the season. But when she disappeared, it was like it upped the stakes.
Yeah.
Whereas Bob's death, the stakes were already up to here. We didn't need to up the stakes
Right.
anymore.
It was
It's a
unnecessary.
punch in the gut. You didn't need that. If you're gonna like raise the stakes, you got to kill somebody else. It's got to be Hopper. You can't just bring in a new character like Bob and then just kill him off right away.
Like if they're just gonna keep introducing side characters and then killing them because they don't want to kill a main character, I'm not gonna get attached to anyone
Exactly,
in season 3
yeah.
or season 4. Now, do you think it's just our like very real visceral grief that is causing these feelings, or I don't know, maybe it's legit?
I don't think it was necessary. Like, he easily could have just, like, why did he stop, like, running? He just, like, stood there in place and stared at Joyce. Like, it was...
He was just
That's
so
a trope.
happy.
That's
he
just
was-
a horror.
Yeah, that
film
was just
trope.
a horror trope.
That's just a horror trope. You stop, slow
why?
motion for everything.
Well,
and then death.
it's exactly the moment that you think that they're safe, that some fucking thing comes out of left field and whatever.
That shot of the demo dogs over his body with his eyes open, I hate
No,
it.
no.
I
Did
you need
hate
it?
it
Did we
so
need that?
Did we need to see
We
that?
didn't need
It was-
that. They just
I mean-
made it worse.
It was gruesome, and it worked as an emotional slap to my face.
Yep.
On the other hand, Bob's death is kind of what pushed Joyce to like tie her son up and shine lights in his face and like try to burn the demons out of him.
Let me go! Okay, moving forward into season 3. So the very end of the season, it was really cute. Like, all the kids got to go to the snowball. Mike and Eleven got to dance together.
Yeah,
it
at
was
least-
really, really cute.
At least that was happy.
That was very happy.
It was honestly, it was nice that we had a happy ending after the very bittersweet conclusion of season 1. Everybody was together. No one was dead except for Bob, which they didn't seem to really care about that much.
Well, they drew a picture. It said Bob Newby superhero, and then that's it. So,
Oh, good.
oh, good.
And we got a funeral for Barb. We got justice for Barb. We got
Yes.
closure. The snowball was so cute. And all the kids are like, they're all kissing each other. And Dustin gets to dance with Nancy. And they're doing like this
Save
kind
room for
of
Jesus.
saving room for the Holy Spirit dancing, which is like, I really felt a lot of nostalgia during that. And it was just like such a cute place to end. But of course, they can't just leave it there.
Yeah. Then we get that shot at the end, and we have the big old monster on the upside down.
Still kicking.
Do you think the Mind Flayer just like he was just like he was just like looking in at the dance? Like he just wanted,
He
he's
was,
like,
hovering over the
hey.
school. I think he was staring at them at the dance, being all creepy.
he just
What
wanted,
is Will dancing with? Who is that?
he's just a little jealous.
Who is Will dancing?
He's out in the cold.
They need
No.
every kid to have somebody.
That's true.
So the Mr. Shadow Man, whatever the hell he is,
Yes.
he's obviously not dead. There was a lot of setup for season 3. I felt that as self-contained as season 1 felt, this very much felt like the middle movie of a trilogy.
Yes.
Like there's so much setup, so many things that are obviously going to come back later. Did you guys feel that they overdid it on that stuff, or was it just about right?
I think it felt just about right. Like I'm ready for even more crazy stuff to go down in season 3, and clearly it is. Like, the Mind Flayer is going to find its way back into their world.
Yeah, how do you think he's gonna?
Who
I
does
mean, the
he
gate is
possess,
closed.
or what is he gonna do to get back this time around? I could do without the Runaways. I don't really.
Is that what we're calling? I thought they were the off-brand X-Men.
Off-brand X-Men. Yeah.
They're gonna come back
poor
though,
guys.
right?
They're definitely coming back.
Well, I hope Kali comes back, and I hope she literally just shows up in Hawkins and goes, "Yo, all my friends were weird idiots, and I ditched them because like."
They had to go back to their planet now.
Do you think 11 will
left
show
them in a
her?
Hot Topic. Did they have Hot Topic in 1984?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Whatever.
Do you think 11 will show Kali the light and convince her to not murder people continuously?
I think 11's gonna go kick Max's ass, and then
Oh my
after
God.
that,
Yeah, there's some tension there that
Yeah.
needs resolving.
Yeah, that is
clearly.
very unresolved. She just
Oh,
totally
man.
ignored her, trying to shake her hand, and she still does not like her.
I honestly felt bad for Max.
I did
She's just
too.
kind of got the short end of the stick this whole time. She just wants to be their friend.
Yeah.
And Mike is a dick to her the whole time. Everyone tells her how great 11 was. 11 shows up, she's a dick.
Yep. Poor Max. Any other predictions or theories for season 3?
I sense a lot of tension between Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler because she likes taking bubble baths and reading romance novels, and he likes falling asleep in his chair and not answering the doorbell. So I'm hoping that they split up and she just gets with Billy, frankly.
That scene with Billy.
Yeah.
That was something.
I mean, Billy is a dick, but he's also gorgeous.
He's a charmer.
Yeah, he's a charmer. He's a sexy pirate boy. So hopefully, maybe she can redeem him a little bit. Show him how to not be a racist
how old
asshole.
is he again? We're thinking
He's
in
about
high school.
17 and a half.
I have a feeling the first time we're gonna see him, he's like, "I graduated now, just to let you know." And he looks at the camera, and then back at Mrs.
What if the cold open for season 3 is just Billy blowing out a birthday cake with 18 candles on it? All right. The whole season.
Because apparently everyone loves him now, and they're all over his birthday. He has a birthday party now at this point.
Do you feel like they're gonna try for like a redemption arc with Billy next, like they did
Like
with Steve?
They didn't really give him that much care this
They will.
season, so I think they'll try to. If he's in season 3, and I assume he is, I think they'll try to give
I
him.
think they'll have to spend a little bit of time rewriting his character because right now he has no redeeming qualities besides those glistening abs. Who applied the oil, Billy? Like, why did you put it on before you went to the party?
Okay, so some final questions that we still have. So mine is, how is the Mind Flayer going to come back into play, and how does it break back into their world?
I have no idea, but it definitely is going to.
It will. Yeah.
What about you?
I got, I have Dr. Brenner. Is he really, truly alive still? We
Right.
don't know.
Kali and that guy who they went to murder.
He says he
both
knows where he
implied that
is.
Dr. Brenner is still alive, and it was cool to see that actor come back to torment 11. But
I don't think he was lying, but at the same time, where are they going to go with this?
Right.
yeah,
I think he'll come back into play.
We never
Revenge
saw
Quest,
death.
Revenge Quest Part 2. My big question is 11 kind of met her mom and then left her very abruptly, like I think within the same episode or the next episode. Do you guys think that she's going to be able to save her at some point?
No, but
No.
Oh.
I think we're going to get another scene with her mom, but it could be the last scene.
Well, they introduced a character this season that has like the ability to very much influence people's minds, and so maybe Kali comes back into play, and 11 implores her to see if she can help.
that'd be really sweet.
Yeah.
But I remain not optimistic about that situation.
Okay.
Poor mama.
Glass half empty over here. That's cool.
Your mother sent you here for a reason, remember? We belong together. There's nothing for you back there. They cannot save you, Jane. No. But I can save them.
Let us know what questions you still have after watching season 2 of Stranger Things. We're gonna eat these Eggos. They've been sitting here. I bet they're delicious. Also, Mike broke down and reviewed all of the episodes, so go to GameSpot.com to get individual reviews for every single episode. And also, don't forget, you can win one of these pops. 2 of you will win a really cute pop. You can get either Hopper or Dustin. So click the link in the description below to find out how to win, and be sure to check out our other Stranger Things videos on this channel. See ya!
Bye-bye.
Brought to you by The Evil Within 2. The Evil Within 2, available now.